What up with your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios? It is What the Fuck Wednesday. How y'all doing, everybody? So we're starting to get a little bit of news. At least people are starting to talk a little bit about some real news. So we just gonna discuss it. There ain't even no intro to this shit. We got Dino, we got motherfucking Cole, and we got Greg in the house. Let's roll.
What a fucking intro, eh? It's like, well, we asked for news and now we're fucked, so we're just gonna talk about it. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So first of all, for anybody, I stopped personally looking into it because I mean, to me, it's an open and shut case. But people keep wanting to bring it on. I guess they want to just drag this racial bullshit across. But the Carmelo Anthony case. So now some fuck shit. Some videos from other kids and classmates. Right? Yeah, that dude was a piece of shit. He was the fucking bully. Now there is a video out where they show a kid stomping this other kid on the football field and kicking him in the head and shit. And they try to say that was Carmelo Anthony. It's not. But oddly enough, it's posted on his GoFundMe or whatever the fuck it is. Somebody posted that on his shit. Like they donated to him just so they could, because they were asking the guy who runs it, which I can't say that, nothing really against that dude because he is very equal. He let Carmelo's people fucking raise money on his platform just like he let Rittenhouse raise money. He was the only one that let anybody raise money on the platform. So he kept it equal, whether they were both pieces of shit, whether one was right or one was wrong, as long as he kept it equal. Hey, you do what you do. But yeah, somebody actually paid, because I guess you to post a comment or whatever, and you could post whatever. To post a comment, you donate so much money. Yeah. So I guess for $5, people got to watch a video which they thought was Carmelo stomping somebody's head.
I want money to be that petty, and just go on there and be like, hey, like some guy who's trying to talk about, I do this, like, hey, isn't this your wife's tits? And just fucking, I super chatted you just to show.
It'll cost you $5.
Yeah, that's fine.
So wait. Somebody paid money and then posted the video of Carmelo Anthony, of Carmelo Anthony, or it was already on his.
No. Dude paid $5 plus whatever super chat, however they get their money. Somebody paid to put this video on that.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I was gonna be like, what a weird way to be like, hey, thanks for sending me money. Here's a video of not me fucking somebody up.
I mean, that's also a good trade. Be like, you send me money, I'll send you a video of someone getting the shit kicked out of them.
Right.
Like those were just bum fights. We used to mail away for that shit. That's fine.
Oh yeah, dude, we paid good money for bum fights.
Those were good fights, bro.
I mean, like, listen, I think Kimbo Slice was in bum fights.
Remember when he was in the ring and he fought that cop?
I forgot about
like, hey, no legs. And you're like, yeah, I know why. Because Kimbo Slice has got fucking chicken legs. And then he died.
Dude, that was a big fucking dude. He used to take motherfuckers out. Like, just watching his fucking backyard fights, that motherfucker wasn't no joke. And he would he would come in like somebody's pawpaw. He would just walk around the house, just walk around. He'd just look around. He'd have that black do-rag thing on his head. And then, he'd take off his one shirt and he'd have like a wife beater on under it. And he would just pulverize. Like people would just rush in on him, which was the worst thing to do. It was like you were running into the spear. Dude, Kimbo was a bad motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, but look, he was on what was it, Ultimate Fighter? And they're like, oh yeah, he can. If anything, he should have been a boxer or something.
Yeah.
who have dominated. But as soon as somebody touched his legs, he just turned into dust and fell to the ground because he's a bitch. But you're like, yeah, just focus on your strength, bro. Punching people in the face. 100%. Terrifying.
He would have made a great boxer. But as soon as
Should have.
it reminded me of that chicken hawk. Remember the chicken hawk from the old cartoons?
Fuck, what was that dude's name?
I'm a chicken. Him and Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
I'm a chicken. I'm gonna get me a chicken. And he's just all puffy up here with the little chicken legs.
Well,
All right. So that's a little bit of fuck shit on that. Some other shit I have to admit, really kind of make me double take and read a little bit more on it because I fucking can't stand Gavin Newsom. But so there's a big shit that it kind of quieted down, but it's being brought back up again. We are missing over 300 and I think it's 67 or maybe, don't quote me on it, but it's in the 300,000s plus children. Illegal children, whatever the fuck you want to call them. You know, when they're kids, they're fucking kids. We're missing over 300,000 kids. And they've been missing since the last administration, and people have been bitching about it, and nobody, and then all of a sudden we got quiet about it.
I got a question. Did they check the tunnels underneath Manhattan for those kids? Certain neighborhoods?
I'm sure there's,
That's the first thing I thought. When I heard about those tunnels, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, I bet you Epstein's all over that shit.
Oh, what the fucking tunnels behind the Jew church? Wasn't it the Jew church?
That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
We learned that with the Ninja Turtle movie.
Bro, I still remember that guy who tweeted, he's like, I don't know how I can say this, but like, there's Jews underneath my building. And you're like, you can't say that. Hey, and a year later, he's like, y'all owe me a fucking apology. All y'all.
I've been writing a joke about that for a while because like life imitates art. You know, that dude was a campaign manager for some Republican, right? And the Republicans, their mascot is the elephant, right? So I'm sitting here thinking, Horton here's a Jew the whole time. The whole fucking time.
That's great.
It was the Lorax, and he's coming to get your kids.
Right.
Now, what if we'll use Cole shit here for today? What if, playing devil's advocate, that was part of the Underground Railroad?
I mean, it was a railroad to something. I don't think it was or what the original railroad was for. You know,
that's all in Ohio. For the most part.
Ohio got a bunch of tunnels under it, and they go all the way. You know, there's tunnels in different states that go all the way down to down south. So I mean, you know, it's like free the slaves, free the slaves, free the slaves, child slaves. You know, you hit New York, and it's like the
maybe they're freeing them. Yeah, you're right. Maybe
it's called liberating the oppressed, I believe, is the term that they like to use.
All right, well,
because the Jews know about slavery. They swear they know. They swear it.
They know about ovens too. So, anyways, so we're missing 300-something thousand fucking kids. Now,
how do you lose 300,000 kids? Like, I've been on school trips, bro. You can lose one. You can lose two. But 300,000?
One was lost for fucking 10 years.
You're going to lose your job.
I was lost for 6 months. I was for a time. I was on a whole nother side of the country.
He was on a whole other side of the fucking planet.
Greg doesn't know this story. Oh shit! Yeah, I was kidnapped by my mom's baby dad.
But I don't remember.
Yeah, I was kidnapped when I was 6 by my mom's baby dad.
We all try and block it out.
Yeah.
He keeps bringing it up, and you're like, man, you need to talk to somebody about this. He's like, no, it's good.
It's funny. It's funny to me. It's the funniest thing ever because like it gets funnier the more that this shit like this happens. Because then I tell people it, and then they're like, so you like, and I was like, no, actually, I had the greatest time ever. I kind of wish I had never gone back. Like, I want to change the narrative that not all kidnappings are dark. You know what I mean? Like, I got to play Donkey Kong. I went to the beach a lot. We were in Florida. You know, like.
Oh, I didn't have shit. This dude had it all. All I had to do was touch him in his happy place every once in a while.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen. He just liked me. That's all it was. He was just like, "You're a cool kid. Let's go." You know, because
Then you just go to
to
Disneyland.
be fair, I leave the part out where he took his kids too, because they were in the middle of like this divorce thing.
No, you
And
were
then I guess
all
it's collateral.
You were all his kids. You ever notice that all the kids were different shades of one color?
Sometimes Billy disappeared at night. What the fuck? God damn.
All right, so that being said, there's some new fuckwit judges that are saying now that making it harder to deport anybody through California. Not cooperating with ICE. Not, they're saying that you can't just walk up to somebody with a tan and deport them. Well, no shit.
I mean, yeah, you can. You're the government.
If the motherfucker says right there on their face, MS-13 or Trans de Agua or whatever the fuck, Tres Leches or whatever the fuck. If you got it tattooed on you, I mean, hello, you put a talk. That's like back in the day. People used to wear the shirts with the big weed plants, or they wanted to get weed all over their car, or money, shit all over their car. You were advertising. That was the easiest way for you to get busted doing what the fuck you were doing.
Right.
So again, you put the big trans fucking de agua. You know what I mean? That's gay water.
Gay water.
Also, hey, let's be honest. Whoever gave him those tattoos, be like, hey, we're gonna get this guy fucking deported. Watch this.
It actually means water of gay. So you could say like sea of gay, lake of gay, river of gay, like whatever you want, you know.
Trans folks ain't gay in my eyes. Gay folks are gay folks. There was nothing ever wrong with the gay folks. There ain't it's just when they started playing Pimp My Ride and started dressing up in motherfucking, Nana's clothes, then that's stolen valor to me. It's just
I'm kind of with you there.
You know how many good gay men have taken a hard cock for some fucking little teeny bopper to wake up, throw Nana's dress on, and be like, "Hey, I'm part of you guys now."
I don't think that's
100%. I never really had problems with gay people.
I don't agree with that either. I don't think that's how that works.
I feel like that there's a few steps in there that we missed.
Yeah,
kind of glossed over.
Quite a few.
Yeah, but just like broad strokes. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just saying, there's my ride in the rainbow community, and I don't have it. I got gay friends. I know gay men, like gay men.
Yeah, but they're still men, right?
Right. They're not, swinging a dick and then saying, "No, I'm a woman." They're like, "No, I'm not like guys."
See, this is why you're like, yeah, bro. If
Margaret's just trying to normalize homosexuality, that's what it is.
But it's not, because homosexuals are like, bro, we don't want anything to do with this shit.
Yeah, it was normal.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me that homosexuality back in, I guess, the 90s was like weed? It was still everywhere, like it is now, but now it's annoying.
Yeah,
because it's legal.
Yeah,
like
no. You gotta understand is back then men still were men. They also sometimes fuck men though, and you're like, oh, he's a gay.
Honestly, what's the most alpha male thing you can do? Fuck chicks? Fuck all of the chicks in the world, or fuck one guy? That's pretty alpha male. I gotta be honest with you. I'm going over here. Get me away from this guy.
I feel like that's the conversation before someone comes out of the closet to be like, or am I the manliest of men? Because and you're like, I don't. No, you're still gay. That doesn't make you more manly. If anything, it makes you a questionable jail cell roommate.
I mean, I guess like when I was growing up, the people that now are accepted as trans, you only seen people like that really and that flamboyant with it in prison. They done took a few prison dicks. They done dropped all pallets of soap to the point where, and most likely they've been forced to do it. They ain't doing it on their own. But they had with the fucking little Afro puffs on the side and the Kool-Aid on their lips and the Daisy Duke prison shorts, shit like that.
This is getting too descriptive,
I've never
my friend.
been
Way
to
too
prison.
descriptive.
Like,
this is too familiar. Don't tell
right?
people.
Like, why do you know so much?
Like aggressively?
Watch an old Ice Cube video.
I forget you gay strip for charity.
Hey, you guys want to hear a really funny story? We would, so from here, it's like an hour and a half to go to Buffalo, and it's great for shopping, right? So we would go like around Christmas time and stuff like that, buy gifts for everyone. And we had all gone as a group. And my oldest brother's brother-in-law was the only black guy that he knew, which I was like, up until then, we just assumed he was racist. But we were like, oh, look, he's got a black family member now. Great, whatever. And so all of a sudden, we're walking through this mall. It's a very popular mall in Buffalo. It's for shopping. It's on Military Road, I think. Something like that. Anyways, this guy in like a big shearling coat. And this guy's like 6'4", 6'5". So he's a very tall guy wearing a big shearling coat, which you're like, that's a very like mountain man type coat. Except if you look below the coat, he's wearing fishnets and high heels.
Oh my God.
And you're like, so this black guy that we're all with, he just like stops in his track and he's like, what the hell did I just see? We all turn around to see the guy in the shearling going, oh, what did he see? Around, what was this amazing thing? And we all look at him and look down and we're like, God, okay. This is in the 90s. So we were all like, what the hell just happened? Right? Because number one, how are you gonna like a guy who's 6'4" wearing stilettos? You're like, that guy had those things specially made. Like, this is his career type of shit.
Yeah,
you couldn't just go to a store and buy that
right there.
Yeah. That guy is what you described with the Kool-Aid on his mouth and shit like that. Yeah, that was the guy.
Wow. So back to what I was saying.
This got off the track.
So it's got harder, the judges are pulling fuck shit at the border. So basically they're just letting the free flow go on in California. In the midst of all that, apparently the Democrats in California just voted down a bill to buy they keep saying specifically 16 or 17-year-olds. So I don't know if they got to numbers. It's okay to buy them under 16, but if they're 16 and 17, you can't buy. Either way, the Democrats voted them down. You are allowed to buy a 16 or 17-year-old in California. Wonder where these fucking kids are? I'm pretty sure they're in California.
Do we have a price check on that?
I thought we got rid of buying adults. Like, shit.
This was defective.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's the return policy? It's like 30 days? 30 days, right? Like Amazon. Kind of.
Oh, shit.
What's up, Uncle Butters? Yeah, like it says Democrats of California legislature drew national attention this week when they refused to advance legislation that sought to increase the punishment to a potential felony for soliciting 16 or 17-year-olds for sex, inspiring a rare public rebuke from. Yeah, now again, I fucking hate Gavin Newsom, but at least he had sense enough to be like, hey, you ain't supposed to do this in public. Look, you ain't throwing me under the bus with this one. I mean,
when the head of the lizard people is like, hey, this is too far, you're like, hey, someone's doing something wrong. Right.
Gavin Newsom is making a run for 2028, though. He's kind of moving towards the middle, if you will, lately. He's just kind of pushed back against the trans folks in a podcast recently.
Like Gavin Newsom is like the Timu Epi. Tell me he don't look old Jeff Epp. I ain't gonna say his name because then I'll get the little.
I don't think he looks like. I think he looks like the American version of who's your boy up there who was just president, or prime minister or whatever.
Trudeau?
Yeah, he looks like an American Trudeau.
He looks more like Epi than fucking Trudeau. Speaking of, on a little side note, what the fuck is going on in Canada? I've been seeing headlines that Canada declares war on U.S.
Wait, what?
Hey, so we have a new prime minister, and by order of the prime minister's offices, we are all now gay and retarded. This is
Yeah, no, that shit was stolen, bro. That shit was stolen. Y'all's election was rigged as fuck, dude. Because I've been paying attention a while now.
Yeah.
So you think Pauly Pierre should have won? I think he should have won.
I don't think he should have won. I think he did win. From what I've been paying attention from Canadian.
Ooh, he got cut out.
How did that happen?
That was
Got me, bro.
That was me. I did that.
They Marco'd me. I've been wiped and Marco'd this week. We're all for the Dino this week. Tomorrow I'm gonna get the what is it? The hat trick. What is it? Hockey? Yeah. Some kind of hockey thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, tomorrow you ain't gonna be able to look at any news.
I need a break anyway. That shit stresses me out. But actually, fucking RFK Jr. today, kind of basically was saying the exact same thing you were, Marco. But they said HHS was involved, from what he can tell.
What the hell is HHS again?
Health and Human Services.
Oh,
which is what RFK is the leader of right now.
And it's saying Health and Human Services had something to do with the kids too.
Oh, he said they were pretty much behind it. He said that today. He even said the 300,000 fucking kids, just like you said.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't even see that or know about that, so that's just corroborating what the fuck I just,
Right. I read it like 2 hours ago, so it was breaking news when I read about it.
Yeah, the last thing I seen that they were bitching about RFK is stopping a certain dye, so they now couldn't make Barbie pink. They were going to be forced to use some bug from Peru to make Barbie pink. Which, you know what? If you're that fucking, if you need Barbie pink that bad, then yeah, go take it from the bugs. Go get the bugs.
Maybe they shouldn't have wasted all that dye on fucking transgender Barbie, and they would have had more than enough for normal Barbie. Okay, get fucked.
Or didn't for a quick minute they just had like, it wasn't regular Barbie, it was like Barbara. It was some fat chick. Like she had a grocery bag and a regular handbag. And
a cigarette just hanging.
No, it wasn't no cigarette. Like this was real. Like they had it was regular Barbie or whatever.
She had little tits and everything. It was horrible. Nobody bought it. Not even little gay boys bought that.
Yeah, she had like the 80s mom bod. The not looking good mom bod. Little tits, big gut, chicken legs.
Yeah.
Ah.
Never good. Not a good look.
Cole, did we strike it? Does your mom look like that? I mean, Cole got quiet again.
No, I'm looking for what I was going to send it to Greg, what I saw earlier that RFK said.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, you got quiet like you did last week. I'm like, fuck, is his mom fucking got the 80s mom bod?
I don't give a shit about her.
Yeah. He has moving out. Marco. He doesn't give a shit about her.
That lady's moving out in T-minus 12 hours, so.
Oh, so you're moving in with her now? Bigger spot?
Hell no.
Bro, that would be mad joke.
No.
You're like, there's too much fire in here. I gotta go into the frying pan. It's even worse. Yeah.
So yeah, I find it fucking crazy that, the border, they're leaving the border easier to get in and out of in California.
Yeah.
And they're making it so it's not a felony. So, what happens in California if something's not a felony? They just do it like, they break in fucking wherever. They just do. Well, actually, I think they repealed that bill. I think they repealed that so much money you could take without getting in trouble. It went back to some shit. I believe so. But, before you could just walk into somewhere, and as long as it was under $1,200, just fuck it, let them take it.
Then, Walmart started tracking people, and they started keeping a tally. And you're like, bro, Walmart, don't fuck around. And they started banning people, and you're like, well, there you go. I see
Well,
you
over here
crazy.
they're starting to have fits because
I see
over
you
here they're
crying.
starting to have fits because they're starting to put like certain things under that. I mean, it's not even a locked barrier, but it's like when you lift it up, it makes a little alarm. So and they're like, well, what's this? How is this gonna deter people? Well, it kind of like, okay, if you're gonna take it, hey, I'm a fucking thief. I'm a fucking thief. That's what that little alarm is saying. A thief is taking this shit. A thief is taking this shit. They better pay. They better pay.
Here, I got a question for you. Do you think they should do it like a silent alarm, like the beep that your fire detector makes when it's low on battery, like that, so that black people can't hear it? And then it'll be like, you only alarmed the security. They're the ones listening for that shit. It's not.
Hey, fuck you, man. I had one of them fucking alarms for a while, and I couldn't figure out what the chirping was
Bro,
until
hey.
I see a fucking meme about somebody and they're chirping fucking. I don't know, and I'm like, oh, the battery was low.
You fucking retard. Bro, I lasted for 80 seconds. I'm like, where are the batteries? What the fuck is that sound? I'm like, are you fucking. I will ruin this house until I find that goddamn sound.
That beeper thing went off when Dino was here, and Dino fucking called it out because, like, I hadn't changed the battery. I've never done that. I don't give a shit. I didn't even know that was a black thing.
I grew up in the hood. We didn't even have smoke detectors.
Right.
That's
so
different. That's
I
different.
knew it was. I just ignored it. I didn't give a fuck. But Dino was like, "You have to fix it," and I was like,
That's right.
"Actually, I ripped the battery out, because I don't want to hear it going off every time I cook."
That doesn't help.
Dude, you want to hear some fucking fucked up shit?
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, I did this show out in Cleveland, around 6 months ago, maybe a little bit less. And they had a hotel. I got a room out there at the hotel that I was performing at, which was nice. Hey, I get free room. I get to fucking be there. So I went in, and as soon as I go in, the chirping sound started, and I'm like, no. So I took the smoke detector off the wall, and I just set it down. I was gonna put it back when we left the room, when we left the next day. Wouldn't you know it? Like if and I don't even think they realized that it's illegal.
Yeah.
But they had to have a camera in the room because as soon as I took that bitch down, like a minute later, I got a call. My dude's like, "Hey man, did you take that smoke detector off the wall?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "It came up down there. They got it on video. They took smoke detector off the wall. Put it back up." I'm like,
bring me a fucking battery.
No, bring me a battery. You got a camera in my room.
You know what that is, right? That's the Jeffrey Epstein camera.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
We were waiting for you to whip out your dong, bro.
No, because I've heard stories. I've heard stories. People telling me that they were in a hotel and they saw that the floor was weird, so they grabbed it and then it opened up and then you could go in there. I'm like,
You
what was that? Not VHS. There was a fucking movie like that. A dude had all the rooms rigged up through a fucking pipeline or a coreway.
No, it's recently. It was oh fuck. John Hamm was in it. Hold on, let me find it.
But yeah, it was. But yeah, they fucking this was blatant. Because my dude's wife worked at the front desk, and he was like, "Hey man, put that thing back up." Like, God, so there's cameras in all these rooms.
That's Bad Times at the El Royale.
Well, I don't think that was the one I'm thinking about.
Nope, maybe not.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah. No, they had essentially, this was a thing that they were saying was that not only should you look at all of the electronics in your room when you go into a hotel room, but also check the closets for false doors stuff, because that is real shit. And you're like, oh, for me, I'm like, I like to open the doors of everything, and I'm like, I'll just wait, no problem. Come and get me, because
just thinking about that makes me think back to a few, fucking maybe 10 years ago. I was out at I stayed at a different hotel out here. It was the Dutch House. It was next to an Amish restaurant, and there was a benefit downstairs, the drinking and shit. I was fuck it, we'll get a room. We stayed there for the night, and there was no smoking in the room. A couple weeks later, got the bill. We got charged for smoking in the room.
Yeah.
How the fuck I was smoking in the room? I was smoking off the fucking balcony and made sure nobody, there was nobody around. Didn't leave no ashes, no ashtray, no cigarette butts or nothing. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's a more prevalent than what people think.
Yeah.
It's just a thing now, I guess.
Yeah, it's the idea that people assume that you have privacy, and you're like, no, you don't. Just hey, this is one of those things where you're like, yeah, you barely have privacy in your own fucking home, right? Your TV's watching, your computer's watching, your cell phone's watching. Ladies, if you have nice titties, turn your phone downward. Just anytime you're changing. Just an FYI. It's good to know.
So Butters, and I was gonna bring this up too. Butters brought up a good point. Apparently, the Ukraine finally signed whatever to their part of the treaty. Um, that shit. I mean, at this point, is null. It's moot. We try to come to the table and bring everybody to the table. Y'all wanted to fucking act a fool, and then you want to go at Putin some more, and then like Putin don't owe anybody anything.
No.
I don't understand why. That was good faith because he was. I wouldn't even say he's friends with Trump, but I mean he had good standing with Trump. But at this point, Putin's like, fuck you guys. I mean, I would be like, nah, we ain't gonna just take the raw earth minerals. We're taking all your land, and we want Zelensky tried at the fucking in the Kremlin.
Hey,
We gotta keep this war going a little bit longer. I'm not gonna tell you why, but I have my reason.
He's probably got stock in Lockheed.
Something like that.
Basically, I mean,
It'd be like that sometimes.
no, but this is the weird part is that the fact is that as soon as Trump pulled out of a lot of the agreements that were happening with NATO and everything, NATO's like, oh no, what are we gonna do? You're like, well, now you're fucked. So
well, they started moving
up. Hey, Russia will just roll right through, bro. It's Russia. They're fucking crazy. Okay. So
another thing that fucking I saw that's gonna be like some fuck shit. Because I'm all for, like, I've been watching more of the local government here just from the shit that I've been going through. And they're finally putting on the ballot. I believe they're putting on the ballot to take away law enforcement's qualified immunity.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah, and that's for the judges and the cops and everything. Which I hope they do. I hope they do.
I don't understand why qualify like that idea of immunity for police and judges and stuff. You're like, no, you're the law. Number one, if you're too stupid to follow your own fucking laws that you made, you deserve to go to jail, stupid.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I mean, a little bit of accountability for some of the fuck shit that some of these guys do. Because again, I and all you guys know, I was one of the big, supporters of the thin blue line and the police officers. We don't have any good police. I mean, we're far and few. I won't say we don't have any, but there's far and few good police officers, peace officers left. There's just we got a lot of unqualified jackheads who are all pumped up, thinking they could do whatever. Especially, I'm noticing more and more with these ICE agents and shit, because I'm noticing that they're kind of starting to mix law enforcement up with the ICE agent shit. And now these fucking cops are thinking that, they could do whatever to anybody. It's becoming like, people were saying, anybody would, it ain't even black. It's just the brown folks. Black folks are fucking fine. It's the brown folks. So me, and it ain't even just Hispanic brown folks. It's just the brown folks. And they're starting to, I guess, if they're taking qualified immunity away in certain states, there's been talked about for a while, but now they're going to give cops more leeway.
Never do that.
Yeah, and that's bad news. That's bad all the way around. So I mean, what good is qualified immunity if you said, yeah, you could do that?
Right.
Well, listen, it's bad enough that cops can lie to you and say whatever they want, right? But like the fact is that every like who was it? Tom Segura did a whole bit in one of his specials where he's like, every time that they have one of these videos where as soon as the guy's like, I think I need a lawyer, the cops lose their mind because they know how fucked they are. Right? Every other time they're like, if you just talk with us, no, I need a lawyer. Just immediately. Doesn't matter. Hey, I can't afford a lawyer. I am owed a lawyer by the statute of the the Bill of Rights. Eat my fucking cock. I want a lawyer. Don't say shit. Right? But
Yep.
this is the problem, is that you have police thinking that they can do whatever they want when you're going, no, that's not how that works. Also, you're not in fucking SVU, fucking special crimes unit, asshole. You're writing me a ticket. Get fucked. Okay.
Right.
Like, people need to calm down.
I always thought it was weird that cops, just regular street cops who can like pull you over for speeding or whatever, can have the right to like go through your car. Like, I get it if I have something like there's like a finger and they happen to see it, or a gun that's probably unregistered, whatever. If it's like they catch me red-handed, that's one thing. But you're a street cop. You're not an investigator. If you were an investigator, you'd be able to pass that test and be an investigator.
You're making it sound like the TSA stopped 9/11.
No, like
you haven't stopped shit. It's not. Yeah, no.
You're not going through my shit. What?
Bro, so every border agent and every fucking weirdo that likes frisking people at the airport is like, I'm the first line of defense. Motherfucker, it's shampoo.
I mean, that I get. That's legitimately their job. You know what I mean? Like that, to keep shit off of the borders and off of the planes and shit, I get. But for me to be driving, it says I should be allowed to fucking drive. In my constitution, it says that I should be able to not drive, but like, what is the word? Travel freely. But then you can just pull me over and then be like, I want to search your vehicle. Go fuck yourself, buddy. Like, I just saw a sign at the gas station I love going to, Sheets, that now says no loitering. Again, fuck you. This is America. Suck my dick. Like, honestly, like.
I mean, technically,
yeah, no, you can't. The whole loitering thing, that's just like, you don't want your mama at your house. You see how pissed off you are. She's fucking loitering. I mean,
he's got there.
You were loitering outside the White Show.
I get it to an extent what you're saying, but again, like I don't feel like government property is at any point government property. You know what I'm saying? So private property
is private
property. You can be able to trespass people and tell people to leave or whatever, and you can call the police. But to just say police order no fucking loitering, go fuck yourself. The police don't have any fucking say here. This is private property. If they want me to leave, they can call you and tell me to leave. Okay, fine, fair. Well, but you can't tell me to leave.
There's something they're called auditors. There's people who do that and are taking film stuff like that. And I've seen a lot of these issues. Like, there are certain parts. I mean, and there's a lot of cops that do violate this, but there are certain parts. Like, if you're on the sidewalk that's attached to an establishment that don't want you there, or just that piece. Usually, it would be public. But if it's a piece of that establishment there, then you can't be on there. But if you walk over into the little parking lot or the little parking strip that's in the street, that's in front of that place, then the cops can't say anything. They could walk up and be like, you're bothering people, this and that, but they don't have the right to make you move or nothing.
Right.
So, again, you have to have a police officer that knows the fucking law. Not one of these gung-ho motherfuckers that, you don't want to leave, and snatch you up and throw you on the fucking ground. And now, I've seen a bunch of that shit. Like, these guys go in, and I got to give credit. You think it might run my mouth. Fucking these guys go up in the police stations, and they're telling these motherfuckers, look, there's this law, and this law. Give me your supervisor. Well, we don't have to. Yes, you do. Make sure your camera's on. Make sure your body cam is on. And I'm going to just have my camera running too, just to make everything. And he's like telling him, look, I'm telling you this law. And once the supervisor comes, then their stories all change.
Right.
Well, and then they always come up being apologetic, oh, well, we're sorry. And you got to understand that we did this. That like that one, the soldier That one cop fucking maced that soldier and damn near beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, look, I try to pull you over. He was like, it's all dark. I'm in the South. I'm a black man. I pulled over at the gas station.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, get out the car. He's like, you want to tell me why I'm being pulled over, detained or whatever? He showed him his ID and all that. The fucking cop just maced the shit out of him. The kid's trying to get out of the goddamn vehicle. He's stuck up on his seatbelt because he's getting maced.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted the fucking shit to do. And the other cops came and they were, you could see them pull him to the side, like, dude,
What the fuck's wrong with you?
and they walk back. Oh, we're sorry, dude. If you would have did this, then this would have never happened. No, if you'd have known the fucking law and quit being, Mr. Jacknuts. I mean, that was a fucking soldier. If he wanted to, he could have snapped your fucking neck, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, I got in an argument with a cop about the law one time, and he was telling me one thing, and I was saying the other, which was the law. I forget what we were arguing about, but he was trying to tell me I was breaking the law. I was like, no, I'm not. And he was like, no, it's like this. And then I was like, I'll just Google it. And he's like, it's not going to be on Google. I'm like,
Okay.
gotta go. Like,
all right, there, G.I. Joe.
That's why I use AI now. That's why I use AI, because if it ain't on Google, it's on the AI.
Right. This was like 10 years ago. So, but like after he said that, I was like, can I go?
The best is when they're like, no, you can't Google it. Why not?
Oh,
because I don't know what's on Google. You're like, then you're fucking retarded. How are you a police officer?
Dude, the best one, and I just got this recently. Oh, where did you hear that on the internet? Oh, you can't believe everything that's on the internet. It's the government site. It's the city's site. What the fuck you mean? I can't.
There's like, this is the problem, is that you can't fix stupid, right? But apparently it's very well employable.
Yeah,
so
dude.
It's this weird thing where people are like,
where they get cocky with it.
Oh yeah. Hey, there's nothing better than seeing people who are overly enthusiastic about their job, and you're like, hey man, just calm the fuck down. Okay. Everyone wants to go home. Nobody wants to deal with this shit. And they're like, yeah. And you're like, you're 5'11". Just calm down. Okay.
That's what I hate about cops, because a lot of cops take their job too seriously. I'm like, dude, like, I worked for Brewers Bagels at one time. Do you think I was just like, every bagel's got to be cut the same, and no, you can't have a little extra arugula? Like, dude.
Yeah, and that's why you don't work.
You did wear that little hat for a while, so kind of, but
yeah. That because it's that lack of initiative that is why you're sitting at home on a podcast with us right now.
I make more money than all you motherfuckers.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know.
But
I make whatever money my wife gives me, so that's fine.
But my whole thing is, before we get on the tangent of cop hate, by far, I know there's a lot of good police officers out there who get up every day and they risk their lives and they help out and they do what's right. But it's a dying breed, dude. It's a fucking dying breed. And it's terrible.
Yeah.
I've seen, like, the few cop friends that I used to have, police officers and sheriffs, they passed away, good cops, and their replacements are, dude, maybe once upon a time, I don't know what your motive was. Maybe you did want to help out the community, but being Mr. fucking G.I. Joe, I had a fucking, and if I'd have heard it while it happened, in the courthouse, there would have been some fucking issues. But a fucking code enforcement cop got shitty with my son, I guess, behind me while I was talking to my lawyer. Who the fuck are you? You're code enforcement. Yeah,
that's like fucking a meter maid being like, hey, you're not allowed to. Shut the fuck up, bro. Go write some tickets. Get the fuck. You don't get an opinion. You get in a little cart and you write tickets. Just, you're not police. Relax.
Dude, I had the one guy. Now, mind you, it is illegal. It is illegal for anybody without a warrant to go searching in the curtilage of your house. That means your side lot or your backyard within a certain amount of feet. Now, you got to go through my side yard to get to my backyard. So, you are already fucking wrong. And I'm telling this dude, you don't have a right to be in my backyard. You don't.
100%.
Yes, I do. The court said, no, you don't. Do you know what curtilage is? Do you want me to call some more cops? First of all, you're not a cop. All right? You're not a cop. And you know what? If you want to keep this up, yeah, maybe you might want to call a cop.
Because now you're on my property. You might disappear, buddy. Like,
I know we ain't gonna say all that much, but you know, we're keeping this one
what
as
is the
legal.
implication?
We're keeping this one as legal and as white as possible.
Marco, nothing's going to happen to this man, but it's the implication.
Yeah.
Well, dude, they already fucking lied, and you know, my son spent 3 nights in jail. But you know, because my son, who's been shot and has to walk with a cane, beat up 2 or 3 cops.
Wow, was he while walking with the cane, or was it? Did you? I want to know. Did you tell that story the way it was meant, or how it happened? Like, does he walk with a cane because he fought with 2 cops and beat the shit out of them, or
no? He walks with the cane because he got shot.
Yeah. All right.
And you know,
By a cop?
No.
Yeah. That would have been great. You would have made some serious money off that.
Well, we're gonna see.
Beating cops, one shot him. Like,
now, you know, my son can't even get a fucking job now. If you Google my son's name, they show his mug shot. I mean, it sounds like a joke. It's fucking real.
I know it's not funny, but it's hilarious at the same time. Sorry.
And it ain't even a good one. Makes my son look like twice as old as me. I mean,
it's not like the Trump mugshot.
He does look older than you.
And then, you know, fuck, even Trump took a good mugshot picture. Come on.
I mean, Trump did take a great mugshot picture. That's fair. Yeah.
Eyebrow up and everything.
Because it's, hold on.
You see it? You see it? I see it in your face. You see it? Yeah, how's my son
fucking orange shirt, bro? I'm like, God damn.
How the fuck is my son gonna get a job? Is it?
I mean, there are a couple jobs he could get hired for. None of them pay well. Just, especially if you're honest. Definitely not. But you know.
Yeah, and then you know he can't get Social Security. He's tried.
Why?
Because it's not illegal. I mean, it is. My son, who's in a wheelchair, can't get Social Security. You know, he's developmentally disabled from vaccines. You know, and I'm still not an anti-vaxxer except the fucking COVID one. I mean, you got to break a couple eggs, guys. Got to break a couple eggs. It happens. My son was one of them eggs. Fucking happens. You know, it sucks, but
I don't think that's the expression when it comes to that, sir. But sure, point made. But no, well, everybody knows COVID was a bullshit vaccine anyway. Come on.
Oh, dude, did you see? There's all kind of shit coming out now. Like the people are just like, fuck it. You know, this is what's really happening. Like the vaccines have all kind of like they kept calling it the RNA or whatever the fuck. It had DNA, but they're not saying what the DNA was from. And from the research that I did way back when, you know, a lot of it was AIDS, and they were testing this shit on soldiers, and soldiers who have been married or never been, you know, they just got AIDS out of nowhere. Not even HIV, fucking AIDS. Like
they did serve 3 tours in Thailand, but that is not related. It's not the same thing. It has nothing to do.
What's all dude's name? The fucking medical guy or whatever that was in charge of all that. I forget his name. Fauci, yeah. His history with AIDS is fucking despicable.
Oh, bro,
like,
he has literally done the worst job ever when it comes to medicine. Just in general, you're like, oh yeah, he's the fucking worst.
Oh, it definitely looks like he's doing the opposite of helping people.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like on purpose, though.
Yeah. He's the first line of defense, and he sucks.
So here's something else that's interesting that I came across today, actually. So they're starting to go into more. They're bringing up that chick who flew the Black Hawk into the plane. That, remember, it was over by Washington.
Oh yeah. Hold on. What is it you're gonna say about this?
So they're saying they got she actually deliberately did not take the orders from the tower She actually,
Six
she
time.
told them that she was gonna go her own visual or whatever,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like a half a second later, you hear all the commotion and boom and all that shit. So they're saying, they're trying to figure out why she deliberately, didn't do the order, even though her instructor was in there with her. So on top of, I saw that, and it wasn't, it was pretty much the same old shit, just blaming a woman. But then I fell asleep watching this a conspiracy or a CIA iceberg or some shit like that. And iceberg, they'll go from like the most major of whatever, like conspiracies or movies or whatever, all the way down and find facts about everything. So there's something called black sites all over America, and they were
Tell me more.
implemented right after 9/11.
Yep.
And what they are pretty much are underground torture chambers.
Yes.
Or underground, if you want to call them jails, but from what I heard or read before I fell asleep, they're torture chambers, and there's a shit ton of these fucking places. Now, a lot of people are talking concentration camps, this and that. There's been concentration camps in America still running since back when they thought all the Asians were fucking terrorists. And that shit, I remember reading a Time magazine back in the 90s that these things were still up and running, and I'm sure they're still are. This is not those. This is something totally different, because they named a few people that they did take to these different places that ended up, now are in Guantanamo, a lot of which they found that eventually, after years of torture, that they had nothing to do with the situation. Go figure. But the odd thing about it is how they transported these people. And they transported these people in a plane almost identical to the plane that got hit by the Black Hawk. And I believe one of the fake names or whatever, like the shell companies that ran these planes, was called Premier Flight or Premier something or other. And if I remember correctly, when they showed who was transporting what, it was like some kind of premier executive or they were supposed to be transporting somebody that they couldn't tell who it was. So it's mighty odd that almost the same identical plane got mysteriously cracked by a Black Hawk that's taking certain people to black sites.
Listen, if you really, really, really want to mess with yourself, just Google the address 33 Thomas Street in New York City. Okay. This is a building. I personally literally walked by and I was like, why are there no windows on that building? And then everyone's like, my one buddy who is he works for the power company, like the nuclear power company. He was like, oh, it's a switching station, I'm sure. I'm like, that's where people go in and don't come out, bro. So it's an entire skyscraper with no windows.
Oh yeah, there's a few of those things, man. There's even ones that have the facade, like they're like what do they call them? Not townhouses, but like
no, it looks like so those
whatever.
So there are those buildings where you're like, oh, they're ventilation shafts for the subway, and you're like, okay, that's fine. This is a independent, no neighboring buildings, skyscraper, no windows, and even the entrance looks like you'd need a tank and you wouldn't make a fucking dent. Okay, and I'm telling you, you're going, oh, people don't come out of there. And this is the thing is there's
boy lives in.
Yeah, like that's kind of like you look at it, you're going, doesn't look like a place where people come out of. Just you go in, but you don't come out, kind of thing. Like it's fucked up. But there's a massive thing with regards to because remember during COVID, remember they were setting up all those tents in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, they're accessing the tunnels. And everyone's like, what do you mean there are tunnels underneath Central Park? And you're like, listen, friend.
Well, I mean, again, like what people realize is that there's damn near a whole nother city under New York City.
Yes.
You know, there was massive floods that was supposedly done on purpose to get, you know, black folks and Indians up out of there. There was also the big fires. According to the Mandela effect, the first attack on U.S. soil was on the Statue of Liberty out there, which also sent ripples inward, you know, that fucked shit up. So there was a lot of buildings on top of that, and there was subway systems that were abandoned. So there's big, like I've seen some of the videos where there's like the Ninja Turtles. Remember the first Ninja Turtles when they found that whole subway system and it was all laid out? I mean, there was like restaurants and shit down there. So there is a series of tunnels through there. Now, aside from them tunnels, though, there's other pathways and deep darkers because a lot of them things are monitored. A lot of them aren't, but a lot of them are monitored. So people who live under there, under there, you know, there's other fucking places and tunnels and inhabitants, almost like mole people, you know, if you want to call them that, because there's, you know, they get very minimum electricity, but if they tap into wherever they do get some. But I mean, it's completely fucking dark under there. It's crazy. And there's some under San Francisco or, well, I'm
Las
sure
Vegas. No, Las Vegas is the one you're thinking about. So Las Vegas has the first level of underground city where people are like, oh, it's for the homeless and stuff like that. There's level 3, 4, 5, and no one comes back from. And I'll tell you.
See, that sounds like Dolce base in New Mexico when they found that shit.
Yeah, right.
Remember what was it, Phil Schneider talked about that shit before he killed himself, you know, by strangulating himself in a car with the fucking medical hose from behind.
It's the same the Russian way. Committed suicide with digging his own grave and shooting himself in the back 18 times and then covered himself up half. Yeah. Traditional suicide. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolce base is supposed it's like got a bunch of different layers, and the lower you go, the more fucked up shit is at the bottom. It's supposedly, well, now it's supposed to be joint ran by aliens and humans, but it was all aliens once upon a time. And what's weird is it sounds fucked up, but if you look it up, it's I'm not sure if it was called the Greada Treaty or which one of the treaties. Like Americans went to war with this fucking thing. It's documented. It's in fucking paperwork.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're allowed to call them aliens. They're just Mexicans when you're that.
No, these were aliens.
Oh, okay.
Like these were like extraterrestrial type aliens.
Much better.
Wasn't just one species of alien neither there. But yeah, they took out a bunch of our fucking army or whatever. Like we had to have a treaty with them.
I feel like we should do that skit where someone's like, hey man, there's aliens moving into the neighborhood, and everyone's like, hey, you can't say that about people. No, they're like fucking from the sky, man. I'm not racist. And you're like, you're a little racist, but okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's
they're undocumented Arcturians.
Yeah, I got Space Invaders in my house, so.
When I was a kid, that was just a video game. Now, apparently, it's just a state of life.
I see every once in a while one of
your Obama.
You see a brother just walk by.
You do. Do you not? It's just in the background. It drives me crazy every time somebody does it. They're just walking behind me. I'm like,
bro, I just don't like people walking behind me like that. You're like, why are you walking? Just sit down.
Right.
There's no reason for you to move around, okay?
You ain't moved all fucking day. I'm on the camera. Now you gotta see
right. Fucking right, Marco. Fucking you right. I haven't moved all goddamn day. There's an ass imprint in my nice couch.
Yeah. Hey, that's one of those.
I got a shit.
Yeah, you didn't want to talk to me all day, but now I'm leaving, and now you have a conversation you want to have. Shut the fuck up. I'll be back later.
Yeah. That's like them people. As soon like you have a foot out the door. Oh, wait a minute. Can you?
No.
I said goodbye.
I did the Midwestern whelp.
Well, gotta go. That's it. We're done. You have 30 seconds to out that fucking door. Okay. Whether it's open or not, there's gonna be a Dino-sized hole right fucking through it.
My mom does that shit on the phone. Like I try to get out the phone with my mom. Like, Mom, this, and this. I gotta get this done. All right, I'm busy. Oh well. So how's the kids doing?
No, so how?
No, you had a job. Look, I told you I was busy. I can't stand that. Or people, or if you like message them that you're busy or you're in the middle of something, and then they call you,
bro. Honestly, the amount of times people have called me and I'm like, I'll text them back and be like, don't call me. Just don't. You can just text me, or next time I see you, we can have a conversation. You don't need to call me. It's not.
One time I was trying to look at the menu of a restaurant, and I don't know what I did, but it started like trying to FaceTime the restaurant. I was like, stop, this isn't. I'm at a panic check. Stop. I turned the phone off. Like,
Well, that's
Bounce
okay.
it off the wall.
Like I don't know if you guys have like where it's like find me a table, and it'll just make reservations for you. And they're
Right.
like, oh, we'll call the restaurant. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm like, I barely want to talk to the hostess and server.
right.
Okay, I just want someone else to cook, me to eat in peace. I'll leave some money and walk the fuck away. I don't need all this. We went for breakfast, and this guy tried to try and chat up my wife's aunts. And I just look at him, I'm like, hey man, can you just fuck off? And they're like, why are you so rude? I'm like, maybe he should choose to. I've been waiting for hours for some fucking water, bro. I'm eating hash browns. I need some goddamn water. Okay. Why are you talking to old? Like, just fucking do your job. Okay. Good break.
No tip for you.
I
Exactly.
wasn't gonna tip him anyway. He was born. Fine.
Hey, speaking of that shit, man, did
Here
you know
we go.
that the soup Nazi dude from Seinfeld was based on a real dude? Like he was trying to sue Seinfeld because of that.
Mhm.
And hey,
Really?
Seinfeld made a deal with him. And it's like, okay, now he has his own soup brand.
So
Yeah.
somebody wanted to be known as the soup Nazi?
Hey, that's
He
how
was
Seinfeld
the
did
soup
it.
Nazi. He acted the same
He
way.
is that's him. Right? Remember, hey, you got to understand that like all of the characters in that are real.
Oh, really?
Every one of them has tried to sue Seinfeld and failed because
He's a Jew.
got interesting people on his side. Okay. Have you watched one episode of Larry David and you're like, oh, I would not want to hang out with this person. He's funny from a distance, not in my country club. No, thank you.
Right.
He can
He's
go
funny over there. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch him on TV and then turn him off.
Now,
Right.
wasn't Larry David like he claimed that he created the whole Seinfeld thing, and that
He
was
did.
about his life or something like that?
He's Costanza. Costanza is supposed to be about him. So the bald guy
I
that
think so, yeah.
George?
the short bald guy, the best friend.
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
George Costanza.
Yeah, Costanza.
So you're trying to tell me that Larry David fucking made a house under his fucking or a sleeping room under his desk at a baseball field?
I'm not trying to tell you shit. I'm just saying that's that's what I know. That's what I've been told.
Or that he fucked his cousin, because there was an episode where George fucked his cousin.
I can see him doing that. I can see him doing that.
You know how those people are. They do
Right.
that stuff.
They do that. They got a lot of inbreeding problems. That's why they got bad
It's what causes
immune
their curly
systems
hair.
and whatnot. Yeah.
That's why I say curly hair is a sign of inbreeding. 100%.
That's fucked up.
Is it though?
But they have a lot of health problems because in their lineage there was a lot of inbreeding, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
It causes issues with your septum. You can't breathe right, and then you talk like this. Why are you always a victim? I don't understand. You guys are rich. Fucking
I think my
ask me
mom's a
in 10
Jew.
minutes. What?
I think my mom's a Jew.
That explains a lot.
You notice how Cole's slowly but surely cleaning up. Now Hammered and Cheese, Cole's gonna have a fucking yarmulke on, and he's gonna have the little curly.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm trying to raise my credit score.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it. He's gonna get a new apartment on a higher level of the apartment complex, or lower, depending, you know.
The Jews have been tagged. The Jews and the fucking the brown people have been tagged in, man.
I'm
It-
not gonna
it
be in
went-
the tunnels if that's what you mean.
It
I
went
mean-
from the black folks to then the Muslims. You know, they got tagged in. Then for a minute, the white folks were tagged in. Then now it's the brown folks and the Jews. You know, they're
We're
just like
kind of deservedly so, though. Like,
Hey, the wilder part is if you start piecing together a certain thing, you'll find out that like the owners of the majority of companies that produce graphic entertainment are very specific last names. Very specific. And you're like,
all entertainment. To be fair, though.
fair point. I'll give you that. But
I mean, if you're going by that, man, I mean, you know, if you look at who they may own the entertainment, but the crown owns the most of everything. So I mean, they're just an extension of the crown. So I mean, but
Who's
that just
crown?
goes back to the inbreeding.
I think you mean like the Vatican? Or
No, because the rest of the world is
The
owned
Brit.
by the Vatican.
Yeah, the Brits.
If you, I did it was almost like a family tree type deal of all the companies that trace back to the Vatican. Dude, all the Jew companies all trace back to the Vatican. All of them. Everything down to General Motors that was in Lordstown traced back to the fucking Vatican. Disney, back to the Vatican.
which is, well, yeah, no, Disney. I was gonna say I thought, but Disney isn't you know, friendly to the people with the ringlets. You know,
Well, Walt Disney wasn't. The people
no,
that
he wasn't.
you know,
Hilarious.
now the rest of the fucking people that took over after he was cryo froze.
Well, they went
Yeah.
gay. They're all gay. Let's be honest. That's right. That's what they did. It's ridiculous. Come on. Listen. It's no, come on. It's not even a fucking joke. You're like, okay, everyone is either a fish-eyed weirdo or a fucking fat adult who's going, Disney's my life. Get the fuck out of here, weirdo. That's fucking weird. Okay. It's I'm sorry your parents didn't love you. Fucking grow up. That's probably why they didn't love you. You're a fat piece of shit.
When did this become the coal bashing show?
It's not.
Hey, so check this shit out. I'm over here and I just saw a headline that just passed me. And every time I try to click back on it, it's like, nope, it clicks me to the other one. But here it goes. Apparently, see, Trump's tariffs, a live update. Chinese eases tariffs on select U.S. goods. So China finally buckled.
Hey, listen, all I know is I've been laughing my dick off at the fact that China's like, we don't need you. We're just going to do whatever we want. You're like, cool. Okay, do that. And they're like, no, you have to be mad that we're doing whatever we want. You're like, no, nobody cares. You can just do
Yeah,
whatever
you're
you want.
supposed
That's
to be
fine.
doing it. You are
Best of luck.
supposed to be doing you.
That's right.
Yeah, I fucking and Atlas of all people fucking had the nerve to chime in, and what he chimed in, I mean, he was right, but it really didn't back up his argument.
It's not relevant. It's
Yeah.
hey, that's the California way. Well, I'm right. Yeah, but that's not even what we're talking about, you idiot.
Yeah, you're right about a totally
That's a
different.
liberal thing I've noticed because Rob
Yeah.
Coleman did the same shit
Yes,
with
Rob
the
Coleman,
Elon stuff.
I
Rob
still want
Coleman
a clip of
is
that.
the king of what aboutism, and he'll tell you, well, that is what aboutism. Everything he
Yeah.
said is what aboutism.
I still want a clip of where I was like, they should make an organization that oversees that. He's like, yes, you're right. It's called Doge, man. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I can't make it make sense to you, man. Like, either you know how to read or you don't. I don't know what to do here. I'm not your parents.
I love debating with Rob. You know, it just
Hey,
he says some of the
hilariously-
most interesting stuff.
Well, also, he's like one of the most racist people I've ever met. Where it's like, if you're not black, if it's not black related, so it's like, he's like, oh, I love collecting action figures, only black ones. Hilariously, I didn't even know they made an Obama action figure. He's got one. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, he was just
actually
president.
they got HRC Nutcracker and a fucking Bill Clinton bottle opener. I almost bought them today, dude.
What was Obama's like action move? Like just the button press of a drone strike?
I mean, it is the power.
It was a button that said "Get him, Mike." That's
Right.
Now, actually, back one of the Black Supermen, because I remember having this discussion with Rob.
Idris Elba?
No, I like
That's like
They were-
eugenic
they were
Superman, but yeah, okay. Yeah.
they were floating the idea of changing Superman to a black person.
No.
He was supposed to be Clark Kent and all this stuff, and which I had a problem with. You know, Clark Kent is Clark Kent. That's Superman. There were 3 other black Supermen that were fucking good stories.
Yes.
One was actually fucking modeled after Obama. Jeez. But I mean, they were good. Why couldn't you do those stories? What
No.
was wrong with those stories? You want to replace, you know, who's gonna believe a black man grew up in Kansas named Clark?
Are we going to factor in that he got adopted by 2 white folk?
No, it was all
Not in fucking Kansas.
Yeah, he would have had to have been raised by white people, right? Like that's still he was still had white parents or whatever. I guess I could buy into that. He's adopted.
Okay, hold on. If he
no.
was raised by white people in Kansas, does he still like check his wallet when he walks through New York? Like, how does that just? He's like, you
No,
can't trust those
Gotham
people.
maybe, not Metropolis though.
Yeah,
Metropolis.
Gotham. Oh, Gotham. He doesn't go to Gotham. That's
you know
for
who-
those kind. It's not-
And you know who they were gonna have play him? The dude who played Killmonger.
Yeah, I did hear this.
Who
Michael
played
Michael B. Jordan.
Killmonger? You know, I think he played an awesome part as Killmonger.
Sure.
But a Superman, a 5'6" Superman, really 5'6" black Superman.
Yeah, he's not a big guy.
Yeah,
Like,
Nah.
at least make it Chris Bound where you know he can throw hands. Just like,
he looked like a beast in fucking Black Panther because the other dude not only had cancer, but he was another little black dude. I mean,
yeah. Hey, and Danny DeVito made a great Wolverine in all those AI pictures where he's like, like, oh, sure. But not to everyone else who's an adult. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
that would be a great parody. Like Wolverine fucking 30.99, and it's just Danny DeVito's fat ass in a Wolverine outfit.
To be fair, Danny DeVito is a comic book accurate Wolverine. Like, if you actually read comics as I do, Danny DeVito is Wolverine. I don't like you gotta read the comics to understand.
Aside from the gut, yeah, you're
Yeah.
not wrong.
We have to do some fucking abs or whatever, but yeah.
I think Danny DeVito played the best Penguin though.
Yeah, no, the Penguin has been shit. Every version of Penguin I've seen since has been shitty. So
You know, the new ones are more. They try to make him out to be gangsterish, and they try to take the whole Penguin aspect out. But Danny DeVito, Oswald Cobblepot was the shit.
Yeah, he did a great.
That new fucking show though, the Penguin. That was a good show. It just was like it just didn't feel like Batman to me. You know what I mean? Like obviously Batman. Where is Batman the whole time? But I don't know if you guys haven't seen it or not. It's a good show. It feels like you're watching The Sopranos.
Nah, I'm more of a Marvel guy.
Greg, can you check your messenger right now just for a picture for Marco? Just I need him to see this.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, they should be good.
It's worth it. Trust me. All the build up, it's all good.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Wolverine, my friend. Boom. Told you. He's the Wolverine. You're like, oh, it's fine.
He looks more like a badger.
I mean, listen, I'm still angry that like Danny DeVito in you remember the show Taxi?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was like 25, and I'm like, bro, he looked like he was 47 on his third divorce. What are you talking about? Like,
Right.
You mean Robert De Niro? Was Danny DeVito in that movie?
No, it's
Danny DeVito.
Oh, you're a baby.
In Taxi?
Actually, was a television show.
I'm thinking
Leave it
Taxi
at-
Driver. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're thinking of you talking to me.
Yeah.
Which-
That's what I'm
Dude,
thinking.
I've been hearing that impression years and years and years, and I knew it was an impression of Danny DeVito, but I never seen the scene, and I always thought it was like some big gangster scene or nothing. This cocksucker's in the mirror. I'm like, come on, fuck off.
You guys did hear that Robert De Niro's offspring
Daughter.
came out as trans?
Yeah, son's the daughter.
Gross.
And they showed when they had a picture of the two of them, and it looked black.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
I was like, what's going on here?
he's like Bill Burr. He went to the other side. Good for him.
Right.
Oh yeah, De Niro always liked the chocolate.
Yeah.
Doctor.
That's why he also has like a Asian restaurant. He's like, yeah, I'm of the people. You're like, you're an actor. Let's calm down. Nobody hired you for politics. Let's relax.
Right.
Okay. You're a pretender. You pretend and get paid well for it to do
In
this.
my eyes, he had like 3 decent movies, and he wasn't even the star. I mean,
I'm sorry. How hard is it to do this? Okay.
yeah. I mean, even in what was it, Goodfellas, Pesci stole the show in that.
Jinxie Cat. That's Jinxie Cat.
Why did you have to be so close to the camera for that?
He was
It's
supposed to get-
uncalled for.
it's
And then,
Jinxie Cat.
Uncalled for, sir.
All except I think the Goodfellas. In every fucking movie, he played a badass. He got his ass whooped.
The only one that was actually good was Ronin. That was a good movie. But again, it was not a big ticket item because it was all
Never even heard of it.
you've never seen oh, bro, it's a great movie. The only this happens a lot is if a movie doesn't take place on US soil, Americans are like, nah, it's shit because it doesn't happen
That's
here.
not
You know?
true. Fucking Taken. Taken was a great fucking movie.
Okay,
And
but
almost
that's only
every
because
Marvel movie is filmed in Australia.
who?
Almost every Marvel movie is filmed in Australia or in London.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm saying before. Okay, so before that, if it was a film on foreign soil, Americans just were like, "Meh, it's probably dog shit." They don't even use the dollar over there.
I mean, but are you are they wrong? Are we wrong?
No, because it was a really good movie.
The first time I've ever heard of Bosnia was in a porno.
Hey, but it was a good porno.
No, they
Good
were white
word.
from America. They just were playing like they were from Bosnia.
You sure it wasn't Botswana?
No, not
That's
Botswana.
definitely not what you want to watch. You definitely don't want to watch a porn from Botswana. That's not going to go the way you think.
No.
Botswana.
There is full
Botswana.
bush from the knee to the fucking butt crack.
I hate that you made a pun out of Botswana to Botswana.
Botswana.
Still, that's gay. So whatever.
Dude, I've watched porn from other like countries around the world.
No one's surprised with that. No one's surprised that you've watched porn, sir.
Yeah,
Not
porn
one.
from anywhere in the region of Botswana. You know, it's full bush from the kneecap to the butt crack, and you know, most of the time,
Is it Middle Eastern? Oh
Yeah.
God!
most of the time, it's in the jungle or on some fucking dirt.
Sounds like dwarf porn, like from Lord of the Rings. Like all the ladies were hairy with beards and shit. You're like, I don't. No, thank you.
No, these
That's
are,
weird shit.
and most of them are probably related to the girl that they're gangbanging.
That's much worse.
Yeah, yeah. That or they paid a goat or two for her. Botswana.
This has gone way downhill, everyone. This is that's fine. Should probably call it there before we all lose everything we ever had.
But I bet you Botswana porn's gonna go through the roof this week.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I hear people digging underneath my house now. They're
Those
coming
are
for me.
Asians, though. The Asians always been tunnelers. Look at Vietnam.
That's a different kind of Asian, sir. I got the expensive kind. It's not the same. Okay? There's a hierarchy. It's Japanese
They all
and
look the
Chinese.
same.
Nah,
No, their eyes get slanted different ways. Some of them are slanted this way. Some of them are slanted this way. Some of them got kind of a 45 degrees. Some of them got like a 25 degree.
listen,
Sounds
you
like
can
you're picky,
tell-
Marco.
You can tell by how much of an insult it is when someone says, "Oh, your skin is so dark." I'll tell you, and that's how you can grade the Asians when they say that, and it sounds really insulting. You're like, definitely Japanese, 100%
Dude,
Japanese.
I don't know what kind of Asian she was, but the chick at the vet last night when I took my dog to the vet, dude, she like we're holding my dog. I'm getting my dog acupuncture, and which now that I'm thinking about it, Asian holding the dog.
I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
All right, later.
That was
Yeah,
abrupt.
he
Right.
messaged the private chat. He's like, I got to go.
Yeah,
Oh.
like fucking 5 minutes ago.
Oh, I got the regular chat on.
Marco's just talking about Botswana. He's like,
Right.
I got more important things than your personal life, sir.
But she looked at me. She was like, "Yeah, I forget what she called herself, but she was like, yeah, I'm yellow on the inside and white on the outside. Nobody ever thinks I'm Asian." So what do you call them ones? Lemonade,
Twinkie.
Twinkie,
banana.
Twinkie.
Yeah. Twinkie, banana, same. Yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
Well, yeah. Oh, well,
No, it was vice versa, so it would be a
Hold
Twinkie.
on. Did you say she's white on the outside, yellow on the inside?
No, she's yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
Okay, all right. So then, yeah,
Banana, Twinkie, both work.
Yeah.
right. Yep.
See,
Twinkie is a
was
little more
of a-
offensive.
Yeah, Twinkie was more like it wasn't like the young, like a gay youngin. Like a
Yeah,
gay.
well, that's a twink. But yeah. And they will get insulted if you call them a Twinkie, but if you call them a banana, they'll get it and they'll be like, yeah. Yellow on the outside, white on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that's Asian specific because if you call any other race a banana, you might have issues.
I mean, it's funnier if it's a black guy eating an Asian chick out and you're like, he's eating a banana. It's funny that way, but probably still inappropriate. So.
Yeah, a little, but yeah.
Yeah. On that
Funny.
note, I think that's a great ending to it.
You're welcome, everyone.
The only time it's good to say a black man is eating a banana is if if he's going down on an Asian woman.
That is not what I said, but let's go with it. That's fine.
Y'all be good to each other. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night for mental health.
Yeah.
And we got Hammered and Cheese on Saturday. Atlas got some shit going on Sunday, and then we'll be back motherfucking Monday.
Yeah. Well, it's Cinco de Mayo. There's all sorts of things happening this weekend. It'll be great.
Yes. Are they still
Your football
celebrating?
shit. I don't know.
I thought Trump fucking got rid of Cinco de Mayo.
Bro, Trump's coming out Cinco de Mayo with a mustache and going, "Hey, everyone, it's Cinco de Mayo. Here is my queso bowl." It's fine.
We like queso over here in America. We have the best.
It's the
queso.
most delicious. Yeah, that's fine.
It's the best queso. Queso, we're out. See you
Good night,
next
y'all.
time.